Think the first offer on your home is always too low? That belief has cost some homeowners thousands of dollars. One of the biggest mistakes sellers make is assuming the first offer is just a starting point and that something better is guaranteed to come along. But in today's market, especially here in El Paso, that's simply not always the case. So, should you accept the first offer on your home? The answer might surprise you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through when accepting that first offer makes perfect sense, when you should negotiate, when you should wait, and how to make the decision that's best for your specific situation. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for before saying yes or no to that very first offer. I'm Joanne Garcia with Your El Paso Homes, and I help homeowners throughout El Paso, especially in the 79912 area, sell their homes with confidence. If you're thinking about selling a home in El Paso, Texas, or you've already listed your home and are waiting for offers, this is information you definitely don't want to miss. Let's start with one of the biggest myths in real estate. You've probably heard someone say, never accept the first offer. It's advice that's been passed around for years. But the truth is, it's outdated. The market has changed, buyers have changed, and the way homes are marketed has changed dramatically. Years ago, homes might sit on the market for weeks before attracting serious buyers. Today, buyers spend weeks or even months watching new listings online before they ever schedule a showing. They receive instant alerts the moment a home matching their search criteria hits the market. That means when your home is priced correctly and presented well, your first buyer may actually be the buyer who's been waiting the longest for a home just like yours. Think about it from the buyer's perspective. They've been looking at homes every single day. They've probably lost out on a few houses already. When your home appears and checks all the boxes, they're motivated to move quickly because they don't want to lose another opportunity. That's why the first offer often comes from the most qualified and motivated buyer. But here's where sellers get into trouble. Instead of evaluating the offer itself, they focus on when it arrived. They think, if I got one offer this fast, surely another one is coming. Maybe, but maybe not. The timing of an offer doesn't determine its quality. The terms do. So what exactly makes an offer strong? Obviously, price matters. But if you've sold a home before, you know the highest offer isn't always the best offer. Let's say buyer A offers $375,000 but needs to sell their current home first, asks for closing costs, wants extensive repairs after the inspection, and needs 60 days to close. Buyer B offers $370,000, has a solid conventional loan, puts down a large earnest money deposit, waives unnecessary contingencies, and can close in 3 weeks. Which offer is stronger? For many sellers, buyer B is actually the safer and more profitable choice. Why? Because there's a much higher chance the transaction actually closes. Remember, a contract isn't money in your bank account. A closed sale is. One of the biggest mistakes I see sellers make is chasing the highest number without looking at the overall terms. Every contingency is another opportunity for the transaction to fall apart. Every additional repair request can reduce your proceeds. Every financing issue creates uncertainty. That's why evaluating the complete package is so important. Now, let's bring this closer to home and talk about what's happening right here in El Paso. The latest market numbers tell an interesting story. The median sales price is currently around $370,000, which is down about 10.8% compared to the same time last year. Closed sales have decreased by roughly 13.8%. New listings are down approximately 8.8%. Homes are taking a median of 16 days to sell, which is about 33% longer than last year. And active inventory sits at around 389 homes. So, what does all of that actually mean if you're selling your home? It means buyers still exist. Homes are still selling. But buyers have become more selective. They're comparing more properties before making offers, they're negotiating more carefully, and they're taking a little longer before making decisions. This isn't the market we saw a couple of years ago when almost every home received multiple offers within hours. Today's market rewards preparation. Pricing correctly matters more than ever. Presentation matters more than ever. Negotiation matters more than ever. And that's exactly why understanding the first offer is so important. Here's something many homeowners don't realize. The first 2 weeks your home is listed are usually when your listing gets the most attention. Every buyer who's been waiting for a home like yours receives an alert. Agents see the listing immediately. Online activity is at its highest. Your home is fresh. It's exciting. It's new. After those first couple of weeks, something changes. Your listing becomes older. Buyers start wondering why it hasn't sold. Even if there's absolutely nothing wrong with the property, people naturally begin asking questions. Is it overpriced? Is there an inspection issue? Is the seller difficult? Could they accept less? The longer a home sits on the market, the more negotiating power often shifts toward buyers. That's why rejecting an excellent first offer simply because you think something better will come along can sometimes work against you. Now, does that mean you should always accept the first offer? Absolutely not. There are plenty of situations where negotiating or even waiting is the smarter move. For example, if you've scheduled 20 showings during opening weekend, it's perfectly reasonable to allow everyone the opportunity to see the property before making a decision. If several buyers have expressed interest and your agent expects additional offers within the next day or two, waiting briefly may create healthy competition. If the offer comes in well below market value, negotiating is almost always worth considering. Remember, very few real estate transactions begin with both parties already in complete agreement. Negotiation is expected. The key is understanding when you're negotiating from a position of strength versus gambling on an unknown future. Another question I hear all the time is, how do I know if my home was priced correctly? That's a great question. One offer shortly after listing can actually be a positive sign. It tells us buyers see value. Multiple offers usually indicate the home is priced aggressively. No showings after several weeks often tells us the market believes the price is too high. Pricing is both an art and a science. You don't want to leave money on the table, but you also don't want to price yourself out of the market and watch your listing become stale. Every extra week on the market has carrying costs, mortgage payments, utilities, insurance, property taxes, maintenance. Those expenses add up quickly. Sometimes accepting a strong offer today produces a better financial outcome than waiting another month hoping for an extra few $1,000s. That's why I encourage my clients to look at their net proceeds rather than focusing only on the sales price. The goal isn't simply selling for more. The goal is putting more money in your pocket. Another factor to consider is your personal timeline. Are you relocating for work, buying another home, downsizing, managing an estate? Every seller has different priorities. For one family, certainty may be more valuable than squeezing out another 1 or 2%. For another seller, maximizing every dollar might be the priority. Neither approach is wrong. The right strategy depends on your goals. That's why every seller deserves personalized advice instead of one-size-fits-all real estate myths. As your local El Paso real estate expert, my job isn't to pressure you into accepting or rejecting an offer. My job is to explain your options, show you the data, negotiate on your behalf, and help you make the decision that's best for you. Selling your home is one of the largest financial decisions you'll ever make. You shouldn't have to guess. You should have someone in your corner who understands the local market, knows how buyers are thinking, and can help you evaluate every offer objectively. So, should you accept the first offer? Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is no. But the decision should always be based on the strength of the offer, current market conditions, your financial goals, and your timeline, not simply because it's the first offer. If you're thinking about selling a home in El Paso, Texas, especially in the 79912 area, I'd love the opportunity to help you create the right strategy from day one. Together, we'll determine the right price, prepare your home to attract qualified buyers, negotiate confidently, and help you maximize your bottom line. I'm Joanne Garcia with Your El Paso Homes. If you'd like expert guidance before you put your home on the market, or if you've already received an offer and you're not sure what to do next, text me today at 915-626-6169 for your free consultation. I'd be happy to answer your questions, review your options, and help you make the best decision for your situation. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who's thinking about selling a home in El Paso. I look forward to helping you with your next move.